the customer, people expect brands to know them intimately and engage with them intelligently. Connected customers are fickle. They're constantly looking for better deals and experiences. Cequity Digital Experience has been designed to deliver highly personalized experiences to customers across desktops, mobile phones, emails, and connected screen platforms. Build relevance and personalized conversations with customers when they visit a website or your mobile app. Deliver context-relevant content and adjacencies dynamically based on a customer's interaction with products or services. Use AI and machine learning to improve experience delivery over time. Cequity Digital Experience helps manage content assets in one central repository and deliver them across devices, web, mobile, and offline properties. Deliver location-relevant content based on the user's location with Cequity Digital Experience. Localize the content depending on where the user is. With Cequity Digital Experience, engage people across paid and social media channels easily, intuitively. Cequity Digital Experience. Build brand affinity with rich, relevant, context-driven content and consistent messaging across channels and touchpoints, across retail, FMCG, BFSI, automotive, and more.
All right, so amidst the refreshing island setup, which I'm sure you all are very much enjoying, here we are on to our special address that will be about connected customer experiences. What's that decisive competitive advantage? Well, with that, allow me to rope in our special speaker, Mr. Neeraj Pratap Sangani, the Chief Operating Officer from Hansa Cequity. Neeraj, it's over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Shikha. Hope you guys are having a great morning. I just wanted to share what happened with me yesterday. And, in the evenings, I take the Uber home. On my way, I thought maybe I should work out and book a class at Culfit. Then I realized that my wife is not going to be home. So I decided to order some food on Zomato. then probably look for something which I'm going to watch later in the evening, or go onto Amazon, book a few things which I need for home, renew my Tara Sky Binge subscription through a UPI mobile wallet, and then probably also check out a few other things on my way, check my fitness tracker, understand what's the day been like. I realized once I get home that my table leg is wobbly, so I kind of book a session with Urban Clap and get them over on a weekend to repair the stuff. And then I want to settle in for the night of some binge watching. And yep, Netflix is what we go to. And when I settle into my cozy, comfortable sofa, I just look at the aircon and say, oh, I'm yet to connect that to my mobile phone. So that's the connected experience in the space of 2-3 hours. These things didn't exist a few years back. So the customer has changed, the business environment has changed, technology has completely transformed how we look at things. Legacy companies have always focused on the product and market fit. Today, the need of the hour is to focus on the product, the experience that the customer is going to get out of the product, and the market. And I think this is the big paradigm shift that we're talking about in the customer experience space. Customer experience is often mistaken to be customer service. And I think, and more so in India, and I think that is a real wall that we need to break. It is used interchangeably. It is not connected. Customer service is part of the customer experience, and everybody needs to understand this fundamental shift that is happening. This has reshaped what the customers expect in the experience of purchasing and using a product or a service, as I spoke about recently. What is the customer saying at this point? More than 49% of customers agree that they make impulse purchases when there is excellent personalization of communication. More than 70% customers say that an excellent customer experience means that it has to be fast, it has to be convenient, it has to be helpful, and it must all do in a frictionless, friendly manner. More than 72% of the customers say that they will share their story with other people if they have. And we've seen this play out multiple times in our personal lives. That sharing is not only social media, sharing is in the real world. Sharing is also ensuring that the good word gets passed around if the customer experience has been very good. More than 50% of, say, store website mobile experiences will really drive all of this happening. So the customers acknowledge this. The business outcomes are there. I think the big debate which CXOs normally have, oh, you want to spend so much money on giving a great customer experience, what's going to be the return on investments? What is the return on experience? Very valid questions, very important questions, enough answers for those questions to ensure that yes, customer experience management is the way forward as far as building brands and brand experiences is concerned. The big problem, as I said, and I kind of want to elaborate on it before, is that the brand and the customers live on different planets as far as the customer experience is concerned. We work extensively with customers and brands, and they probably believe that they do a great customer experience, but this is what the customer feels. More than 80% of the CEOs and CXOs said that they do deliver a great customer experience, but only 8% of them agree. Only 8% of the customers agree that they give a great customer experience. And that's the big divide, and that's the big void that customers and brands need to build in between. And I think the big responsibility rests with the CXOs in this context. But how do you go about bridging this connected customer experience? At one level, there is the brand, which is looking at revenues per customers, which is looking at margins, which is looking at low cost per sales, which is looking at more products to the same customer base, cross-sell, upsell, increasing the share of wallet, increasing the customer lifetime value. Year-on-year growths are expected. Stock market's always looking at you, quarter-on-quarter board reviews. How do you ensure return on investments? At the other end, what is the customer looking for? And we need to pause and think in that context. He's looking for convenience. He's looking for ease of engagement. He's looking for his kind of products and services. He's looking to save time. He's looking to save money. He wants to be made to feel good. He does not want to compromise on quality. And he wants the brand and the service to be always there for him. So how do you connect the brand and the customer? Well, first you need to know the customer well enough to connect. Then you have to deliver a seamless, a frictionless experience during the entire customer journey. You need to map the entire customer journey. Then you need to personalize those engagements to a great extent. And how do you know the biggest shift which has happened at this point of time is treating the customer as a place of business. I might be sitting in my office at this point of time, but I will be making business transactions. I will be buying products sitting here, right from an automobile to a very, very small thing to ordering a food service. I can be doing a plethora of transactions sitting wherever I am. Now, once the business is tuned to this thought that business can happen anywhere, not out of our premises, not out of specific locations, the whole game changes and the return on experience takes on a different dimension altogether. What is happening in the marketplace also is, customers want to check at least 2 data points, 3 data points before they take any decisions. Shopping is very trendy, very today. You really need to be up on your game as far as digital is concerned. Time saving services becoming big. Health and wellness goes without saying is becoming a big priority. Customization, personalization, do-it-yourself products are beginning to take center stage. And people are valuing experiences they have with the brand as much as they value the product. And of course, exclusivity is adding to all of this. Just to demystify all of this, there are plethora of channels. There's mobile, there's apps, there's search, there's the online net, website, email, SMS, WhatsApp, outdoor, indoor, call center, contact center calling, a plethora of options to reach out to your customer. And then there is the customer. What is the customer saying? It's saying, recognize me, anticipate me, delight me, reward me, assist me, value me. Very, very basic requirements. How do you bring that together? How do you connect the dots as far as the customer experience is concerned? Hansa Cequity recommends 10 levers of change, which marketers need to consider all the time. I think the first one and most important is data. You have huge amount of data. How are you going to layer it? How are you going to put the right KPIs? How are you going to make sense of it and make it count? Then automation, MarTech automation. Big jump as far as technology is concerned, which will help automate a lot of processes specifically for India, because you're dealing with hundreds and thousands and millions of customers at any point of time, and the potential is huge. So how quickly can you scale this game up? The most important point and often missed point is the culture and ethnicity of the company and the customer. Company cultures will have to change. It will have to become more customer centric, and this has to start from the top. It is not a one-man, it's not a chief customer officer job. Let me put it very, very clearly. It is the entire organization's job to make it happen. And that's why the organization structures, the collaborative structures, the silos will have to break, and at somewhere, some collaboration will have to happen. The right metrics, too much data, you can drown in too much data, but you need the right metrics to ensure that you are delivering on the KPIs or the return on experience or return on investment, as you may choose to call it. What are the privacy? And we need to be very careful about the privacy norms. And it's not only because of the laws that exist in the country, it's about the customer's privacy. And if you do not respect customers' privacy, they will walk away. Certainly they will walk away. So how do you ensure that a lot of these issues are taken care of? Environment, sustainability, not really big in India at this point of time, but there is a big conscious move in that direction globally, and I see it's only a matter of time that it comes down to India. Keep experimenting, design of experiments, chief customer experience officers need to be part of this. The entire teams need to be restructured. Some of them are the very, very important layers I think marketers need to consider while making this whole transformation possible, from a product-centric enterprise to a customer-centric enterprise. And I just wanted to kind of quickly map you through a customer journey and how it works, and how do you move from a product-centric enterprise to a customer-centric enterprise. Right at the base of it is the customer relationship hub, which is the customer engagement center, which is the service center. That's where the basic premise, or that's where the basic foundations of customer experience is laid. And then you move on to the social media. How do you do the digital intelligence hub? How do you run the campaigns? How do you create the loyalty programs? How do you kind of segment the customers? How do you use behavioral sciences? There's a fusion of behavioral and data science, which is going to drive this change big time in the future. Behavioral sciences includes having a unified customer science view, having a psychographic analyzer, which understands where your customer is, why he is doing what he is doing, nudging customers into making the right choices which you think are appropriate for them. How do you capture the intent or the intention of the customer to buy? How do you keep monitoring all of that? So behavioral intelligence is going to drive a lot of transactional intelligence, and this layering has to be very, very strongly put together going forward. The building blocks, of course, customer journey, very simple, aware, acquisition, engagement, and then the experience. All of this driven by data analytics, which includes having customer single views, driving KPIs, dashboards, visualizations, predictive models, and of course, AI is driving a lot of the personalization at scale at this point of time. The campaign management, the connected customer experiences, customized engagement, embedded intelligence in every campaign that we do, the voice of the customer understanding, use of automation tools, Internet of Things, chatbots pretty much used, RP extensively used by the BFSI segment at this point of time. And of course, a lot of these enablers that we're talking about, from people transformation, upskilling, development, leadership, and all of that, that really are the building blocks in all of this. Where does this customer experience measurement fail as far as India is concerned? And it fails in a couple of places. Key digital signals. Customers are leaving their footprints all over the place, but it's not really measured. It's lost in exhaust. All measurement, no action. Measurement silos. Signals captured in silos, no integration across all of this. And of course, the big topic of the day, privacy. I just went through some of these social media sites and realized if you want to read the terms and conditions and data policies and privacy policies, you'll take on an average between 30 minutes to an hour to just go through that piece before you say, I agree. And none of us do it. How do you simplify these journeys? How do you make sense of it? How do you ensure that, customers are not compromised? And these are things that brands, when they collect data of customers, will need to keep in mind going forward. Very simply put, what are the top 10 Hansa Cequity CX mantras, which I would request everybody to imbibe? It's an exciting phase we are in. But I think brands need to obsess about product, experience, and market fit. That should be the starting point. Remember that sales flow where friction is low. I am a big advocate of giving a frictionless customer experience. It'll be a long time before we get to a seamless experience. Some of the brands are on their way there. But reduce the friction and business will flow. Rethink how we treat prospects and customers. It's a big thing. I just need to dial up the engagement piece as far as the customers are concerned. Preempt the needs as far as possible. Predict preferences wherever you can. Just in the time or moment marketing is going to become very, very important, very, very big for at least some of the brands which are not on the critical path of purchase. I think these are things that brands will really need to work on. Stop automation without personalization. Just don't keep bombarding people with, that's what we call spam, right? And you're going to be out very, very quickly, out of my inbox very quickly if you don't stop just sending mindless communication to me. More and more customer engagement will be driven by device management. This is a big change which will happen going forward. Which device I'm communicating with you on. And then I customize, personalize everything in that context. And this is a big game changer going forward, and customer engagement is really looking forward to a great device management program. And we at Hansa Cequity are working on this extensively for a few of our clients. The other important part, empower your customer-facing employees. Give them the tools to make the right decisions. You need to really empower your customer-facing employees and give them the right tools. Give them the authority to take some of the decisions which will solve customer problems. Conceptually, first time right and first time resolution sounds very great, but are you really actually enabling the guy who's on the call or in front of the customer to have all the information in front of him, and then take an informed decision? I think this is going to be very, very critical for the success of any customer experience project. No option. Collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. I've always maintained and said collaboration beats sophistication. Sophisticated tools, sophisticated strategies, sophisticated thought processes, great. It will all fall apart if there is no collaboration and if brands operate in silos. We created operating in silos, we created meeting our numbers in silos, but the collaboration is where 1 + 1 becomes 11 and not 2. And this is going to be very, very important if brands are going to deliver great customer experiences. Uncomplicate, keep it simple, respect the privacy of the customer. Very, very key to give a great customer experience. Indian brands are still on a learning curve as far as this is concerned, but I think this should become a top priority, and we should stop just over communicating and respect the privacy of the customer at some point of time. Last and the most important one, measure. What you can't measure, you should not do, is what people say. I have a point of view, and here you measure, but you also give a great customer experience. Some things you might not be able to measure, but 80 to 90% of the customer experience piece has to have measurable outcomes, iterative process, and the ability to really build on the program which you set out to do. These are some of the things I think brands need to do. Happy to share with you individually, have a separate conversation. Really looking forward to the rest of the sessions today. It was great interacting with all of you. We live in exciting times. We're really looking forward to make customer experience the business driver for growth. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Really looking forward to the other sessions. So over to you, Shikha.
Well, that's talk uncomplicated. Thank you very much, Neeraj. In fact, loved how you really led with illustrations that was so relatable. And as you said, it's time to cogitate on the return on experience. And of course, the amazing top 10 Hansa Cequity CX mantras that you just took us through. Thank you very much, and have a lovely conference experience, going ahead. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with a leader's perspective. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.